Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Mallory for SharePointer.com, giving you the Fiscal Cliff special on the heels of Christmas. All right. Um, Still a little under the weather here, but feeling much better than I did the last few days. At least my nose feels that way. We had a local Polo Tropical open up nearby, so I had to sneak out for a little bit today and grab some of that. But overall, though, I mean, the market is quite surprising today. If you noticed it last night watching the futures, there was literally like a 50-point flash crash in the futures market last night. So that was a big deal, and it would only lasted for like 2 minutes and then popped up. And the reason for it was the Republicans' rejection of the Plan B and the House of Representatives. So the worry there is that if they can't pass the Plan B in the House, there's no way they're going to pass a Obama-Boehner bill that they agree on. So needless to say, there's going to have to be more spending cuts to get that bill through Congress, both chambers at least, and to the president's desk for signature. So as a result, you're having that today because obviously if we can't pass the bill, there's probably going to be another downgrade by Fitch at the very least, and we know what happens when our country gets downgraded. It doesn't work too well for us, in the stock market at least. So S&P 500. You can see here we have a nice little uptrend that connects the lower low from last week. And we're testing that trend line right now. I mean, we're sitting right there on that trend line. If we go much lower, we're going to break it. But what it could just be, because we have formed a higher high of late, what this could just be is that we're simply creating another higher low. And in doing so, the market will be able to bounce higher again. But I don't get really nervous about this market unless we break 1411. We close below 1411. That's where I would say you need to get bearish again. And I'll get rid of some of these lines here, man. I'm constantly marking up the S&P charts. Obviously, the bull flag doesn't mean much now after today's action, but one thing maybe worth paying attention to, and something I haven't really looked at until just now doing this video, is that this sell-off comes at the heels of a downward resistance level. So just something to keep in the back of your head. I find that a little bit interesting, and you know, if you look at this downtrend from here, and this peak here, then all of a sudden you can say, well, in the longer term of things, we're only putting in a lower high, you know, and that there's this greater downtrend that's still in existence. So just some food for thought, and just things to consider basically as we head into the new year. Groupon was asked about. Give you my thoughts on that one. I don't know. What I'm trying to look for here is just what kind of resistance levels that sort of stick out to me right off the bat. I'm not seeing anything major at this point. I think what you have, I don't know. I don't think you have anything there either. You may have something here off the lows. No, I mean, Groupon doesn't set up from a trend line perspective very well. If you take this the trends off of the November lows and how it marched higher, then you could say today that it's breaking that trend line, and you might want to get short or bearish on this stock. If you were to get bearish, you got to be careful because it is below $5 a share. The volume's fine in terms of, you know, there being enough shares to trade, but it's breaking below that long-term trend line. So I don't see this as a reason to get long on it. Yeah, I would say this is a no-go from a long perspective. From a short side, you can do it, but it's just, I think it's high risk when you're getting short on these stocks that are trading, you know, below $5. So keep that in mind. If you go through my long setups today, you're going to see that these things are just all getting hammered. ARRY, which I thought might end up eventually setting up well. DTE is hanging in there. LULU, you got a pullback on this one here that maybe next week might be worth considering getting long on. EW is holding up great, and we're actually long from the low 91s on this trade. So kudos to EW to standing its ground today. KWK is getting beaten up pretty good. EVER, this was one that was breaking out 2 days ago and looked like it was consolidating back to that breakout level, but today it's just crushing right through all those moving averages and just heading lower. So HCA, nothing really going on there. ADS, this is a stock that we're long on right now. We're only some of the folks in our chat room got stopped out of ADS today. Our stop loss was at 145.60. And typically what I do is I don't put my stop losses in and make them good to cancel. What I'll do is I'll put them in after the bell opens, because so many times in the past I have put my stop losses in and you get this wide gap in the morning. Like in this case, ADS had like a $1.50 gap at the time that some of the folks got stopped out. And even though, I mean, from where we alerted to where they got stopped out at, there was a profit still to be made there on the overall trade. Nonetheless, when you get those wide gaps at the morning open, particularly when there's a large gap, it can tend to stop you out prematurely, and basically where the market makers can just snag your shares off of falsely triggering your stop losses. So I always wait like 3 or 4 minutes after the bell, and then I'll start putting them in one at a time. Or I'd say I give it about 5 minutes, and then I'll start putting in my stop losses for the day. And I'm pretty careful with my stop losses. Make sure I'm not putting in a stop loss by accident that's going to trigger right away. And so when ADS actually rolled around, I had actually not put in my stop loss for it yet. So I'm still in it. Some folks are not, but I would say in the future, always make sure that you put your stop losses in if you have the luxury to do that. Otherwise, I would use conditional order formatting to where. And I got videos on the site that you can search on that, conditional orders, and you'll find them in our search engine. There's a video that explains it using the Think or Trade platform. But those will keep you from getting prematurely stopped out like that. All right, that's probably going to do it for now. It was a short video today, but there's a lot of people that are already heading off to their Christmas vacation plans, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. God be with you all, and I just hope everybody stays safe and stays out of trouble, and have a blessed Christmas.